Let me explain to you the way the klipot work. If you eat a certain amount of food, and you eat, you feel full, you feel okay, that's good. Anything in excess in life, that's when the other side gets a chance to grab you. For example, if you have the right amount of food, you get energy. If you have too much, you get tired. Same thing with money. If a person is running after money, if he makes an effort to make parnasa, if he runs too much, he gets tired, the klipot can affect him. Sex also. Sex, you need to have babies. Too much, it can get you tired. So the klipot are negative husk that surround us. These work on excess. Once there's excess, that means once you go over the line, the klipot attach to the person, and then that's what makes things very difficult, and it makes things almost impossible to do. So that's what we want. We don't want klipot. We want to be happy. We want to be satisfied. Okay? Lesson 47, Rav Nachman says that he's saying something very beautiful. He says, what was the main thing that Hashem loved the Jews so much? There was a discussion with the angels in the Gemara. He says, what was the thing that Rav Nachman loved so much about the Jews? He says, when the Jews, he says, how could I not love the Jews? They're satisfied with a kazayit. That means they bench on a kazayit. They don't have to be full to bench. So here he's saying us here that Rav Nachman says someone who stepped in desire for eating is certainly very far away from the truth. His real problem is not the eating. He's got a deeper spiritual problem. We already spoke about with everybody. We spoke about that problems don't start as regular problems. First, they start as spiritual problems. The spiritual problem is a lack of truth. I know some people have confessed to me. They said, listen, the reason why I'm so overweight is because I have confidence issues, and the weight hides my confidence. I don't have to deal with life because the weight becomes a barrier so I can hide in my own skin, and I don't have to deal with people because they have no self-confidence. So they create the weight as something to stay in themselves and not have to deal with life. So what he's saying is true. If you look at a lot of people, they don't want to deal with life. They don't want to deal with the challenges, so they hide in the weight. So he says one of the major things he's saying here that we know that a person is going to have judgment if he's always craving food. Craving food is a sign of why? Because he says, how can I not bless them? When God blesses you, it's because he sees that you're satisfied with enough. When you always need more in life, that's when he takes the blessing away from you. It's either when a person eats properly, what happens? His face shines. Right? When he eats too much, what happens? His face goes down. His face shining represents the truth. A person's face in a desire for food, all of a sudden you could say, you know what, Hashem in his bodedut, you want to fix your weight problem? First, confess on the truth. Say, you know what? Fix the spiritual problem, and all of a sudden Hashem will attract you to lose the weight. Because it's a real problem. It starts in the spirituality. The spirituality is not being an emet, not being truth. And that truth is affecting the weight. That's what he's telling us here. He's saying here, because when a person he says here, when a person breaks his desire for eating, he says the Holy One will perform a miracle for him. He will perform a miracle for you because he sees that a person can control himself. He's satisfied with what he has. That will make you imagine and that connects to what? Truth leads to wealth. What does falseness leads to? What does lies lead to? Poverty. So he says someone who's beset by constant judgment, it's going to be a sign of poverty. It's a sign of running after food. It's a sign of not being in the truth, and God forbid it could lead to poverty. This is lesson 47.